Guys, now please confirm to me. All of you read my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, watch. Guys, now please confirm to me. All of you read my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me. I'm audible, guys. Now please confirm to me. All of you read my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Everybody, please respond to me, guys. All of you read my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, I'm audible. Right. Good morning, guys. And check it. What's the content here we are understanding there? Right, sir. Now, in the last session, we are understanding the content like what there. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. These points here we understood. Right, sir. Now check this. First of all, we understood if any programming language allows its applications to perform both compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is platform dependent programming language. Examples for that is what there C and C++. If we compile C and C++ programs in Windows operating system, then the compiler will generate .exe file. It contains directly executable code and it has the local operating system representations like Windows representations. In this context, to run the Windows represented code, we must provide the same Windows operating system at runtime. Okay, the diagrammatic representation I've given. C file, here we have taken that we compile on Windows operating system. There we are getting .exe file. The nature of the .exe file is what there. .exe file contains directly executable code. It has the local operating system representations like Windows representations. When we execute that Windows represented .exe file on Linux now, that C engine which is on Linux is unable to understand that Windows representations. Where definitely here we require to provide what we have to provide there. That definitely we need to provide the same Windows operating system. Here there is a small correction actually. After providing Windows operating system, it is able to understand Windows representations, not Linux representations. I think I've given that Linux representations in this diagram here. Just let me check it. I think so. It's not possible to modify now. One minute. If it is possible, then I will do this. The document not possible to modify it. Okay, just anyway, no problem. Then later on I will redesign it and I will paste that in new diagram here. No need to worry for it. Here what we have to provide there in place of this Linux, I need to provide what there Windows. Why? Because already we changed from Linux to Windows here. So here operating system what we have used at runtime is dependent on the operating system what we have used for what their compilation now. So C and C++ are what their platform dependent programming languages. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation in one operating system and execution is in another operating system, then that programming language is called platform independent programming language. Examples for platform independent programming language is what there Java. Right, sir. How Java is a platform independent programming language? See this one, diagrammatic representation are given. Understand it clearly. .java file here we have taken that we compile on Windows operating system. There we are getting .class file. Try to understand the .class file nature actually. .class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code and it doesn't represent any operating system representations including Windows. It is not having any operating system representations including what their Windows. Observe carefully. So that is the nature of the .class file. But the point is what? If you want to run this .class file on Linux operating system, the .class file must have the Linux representations. If you want to run this .class file on Solaris operating system, this .class file must have the Solaris representations. If you want to run this .class file on Mac, the .class file must have Mac representations. If you want to run this .class file on Windows, no, again it must have what their Windows representations. Why? Because this .class file contains some intermediate representations. It is not having any of the operating system representations. That's the main point now. So to make Java is a platform independent programming language, to run Java applications in multiple operating systems, Sun Microsystems has provided a set of converters. Sun Microsystems has provided what there a set of converters. Right, the conversion mechanisms and execution process both are performed by a single component in Java. That single component is what there JVM. The JVM name is what there Java Virtual Machine. Now I'm asking one question to you. Now try to understand it clearly. What exactly the responsibilities of the JVM in Java? What is the main intention of the JVM in Java? Two responsibilities are available for JVM. One is what there converting a neutral bytecode to the local operating system represented bytecode. Local operating system represented bytecode is called what their native code. That is executable code. Understand it clearly. Bytecode to native code conversion. That is one responsibility. Second responsibility is what there executing directly that native code. Whatever the native code is provided by converter, executing that native code. That is another responsibility of the JVM. Translation, execution, conversion, and execution. These two are the responsibilities of what their JVM. Understand the point clearly now? Right, sir. It's okay. These are about the points here. What we are understanding there about the Java. There are some conclusions for us. Understand it now. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. But JVM is a platform dependent programming. JVM is a platform dependent component. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only, but JVM is what they're platform dependent. Not only JVM, the complete Java software is a platform dependent. Why? Because Java software in the sense collection of tools. Java software is what their collection of tools. What are the various collection of tools that we are having there? Java compiler maybe, JVM maybe, Java profiler maybe, Java signer maybe, Java documentator maybe, like this. Nearly almost all 35 to 40 components are available. Their components collection is nothing but what their Java. That's the meaning of Java software. So the total Java software, the total all Java components are platform dependent. So because of that reason, Java software is a platform dependent, but Java programming language is what they're platform independent. Whatever the program we prepared, that is independent of the operating systems. Whatever the program we prepared, that is what they're independent of the operating systems. Understand my point clearly now? That's now these are the conclusions here we can understand clearly. After that, after completion of this total description, here we are having one important interview question. What is that question here we are having there? Observe carefully. What are the differences between .exe file and a .class file now? Few, 2 to 3 differences only here we can understand. Observe carefully. First one is, now tell me where .exe files are available and where .class files are available. .exe files exist in C and C++. Whereas dot class files exist in Java. Point number one. In a different languages that both are available. Fine. .exe file contains .exe file contains directly executable code. Direct executable code is available inside the .exe file. That C engine can execute directly. Okay, but dot class file contains bytecode. Dot class file contains bytecode. It is an intermediate code. Okay, dot class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code. Okay. Point number 3. .exe file contains the operating system specification, operating system specific representation, operating system dependent. .exe file is dependent on what? The operating system. But dot class file contains a bytecode. It is an intermediate code. It is a neutral to every operating system. It doesn't have any operating system represented code here. Understand it clearly. So the point is what there? .exe file is a platform dependent file. .exe file is a platform dependent file, whereas dot class file is a platform independent file. Dot class file is what there? Platform independent file. .exe file is a platform dependent file, whereas dot class file is what there? A platform independent file. Right. One more general awareness here I'm telling to you. .exe file is able to provide lesser security. .exe file is able to provide lesser security, whereas dot class file is able to provide more security. In two ways here we are able to understand the security related things now. Point number one, Java is more secure than C and C++. Definitely dot class files are inside the Java. Dot class files are providing more security when compared with what their .exe file, as these .exe files are available in C and C++. That is one direction. But second point here I'm telling that general awareness. Majority of the software, that means majority of the viruses related softwares, harmful codes, are coming in the form of .exe files now. But no harmful code is coming in the form of what their dot class file. Understand my point here now? Virus related things, if you want to see that, majority of the virus related things will come in the form of what their .exe file. Why? Because .exe files are system executable files now. Then Windows operating system, easily we can execute the .exe in Windows operating system, easily executable file. So if any virus is coming in the form of .exe, the system can execute it automatically. So there is a chance of introducing viruses in our system. But no virus related software will come in the form of what their .class file. .class file is not directly executable code by the system. Understand my point here? Where definitely some Java environment is required. In the Java environment, JVM is required. The JVM has to execute it if you execute that program there. So there it is not easy to introduce viruses kind of things through this .class file, but it is very simple to introduce viruses kind of things through what their .exe file. That's this content here. Now this is exactly, these are exactly the differences between .exe files and what next one can know .class files. Okay, sir. Leave this content here. After completion of this total point here, the third difference here we understood clearly. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language, that we understood. Okay, fine. I will share this document totally. No need to worry for it. All right, sir. Then I will give that link to you how to access this total document here through Drive access. I'm able to provide the entire document here. We are able to understand. Okay. All right, sir. And one small information to all of you guys. Observe carefully. As I said to you, I want to take these classes at 8:30. Right. Right. I think right from day one onwards, I'm giving this information to you. Right. The same thing. Can I implement it from today onwards? Yes. Can I implement them today onwards? Then anyway, at 8:30 I will give some 10 minutes break to you. Then after that, just 1 hour class I'm going to take it. No. Then tomorrow onwards, directly we can come at 8:30. Then tomorrow, no need to come at 7 o'clock. Directly we can come at 8:30 if it is okay. If you are coming at today at 8:30, then better try to come at 8:30 today, just 1 hour after this. But tomorrow onwards, continuously 1.5 hour, I'm going to take the class now. Okay, better to try to follow this schedule. Okay, right, sir. Now let's move on to the content here. Yeah, then for online students, I will give that link at the end of the class. Just give intimation to me at the end of this today's class. I'll give that link, 8:30 link I will provide to you so that you can attend for it. Okay, then I will give that at the end of the class. I will give that link to you. Just give information to me so that I will share that link with you in this webinar. Okay, fine. Yeah, now let's move to the point, guys. All of you understand it, no? Point number 4. Pointer variables are required in C and C++, but pointer variables do not require in Java. Pointers are not required in Java, but pointers are required in C and C++. Yeah. Today onwards, 8:30. Today we have to attend along with this class, 8:30 class also. Yeah, better. Okay, fine. All right, sir. Now pointer variables are required in C and C++, but pointers are do not required. Pointer variables do not required in Java. Before going to understand pointers are required or not required in C, C++, and Java, before that, first we have to understand what is a pointer variable. What is the requirement of this pointer variable? First, we have to understand it clearly. First, understand the point here. Pointer is a variable. Pointer is a variable. It is able to store address locations of the data structures, address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, an array, or a structure, or another pointer variable, and so on. Come again, what is the meaning of this pointer variable? Pointer is a variable. It is able to store address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, an array, or a structure, or another pointer variable. This is the meaning of like what their pointer. Okay, fine. In the C and C++, observe carefully, in C and C++ applications, pointer variables are recognized, initialized at the time of compilation. In C and C++, pointer variables are recognized and initialized at the time of compilation. Understand it clearly. Observe carefully. I'm going to show a simple diagram for it. All right, sir. In a C programming language, we can declare and initialize the pointer variables like this. Int a is equal to 50. For example, I've taken normal variable. A is a normal variable, not pointer variable. Int star p. When I provide this star p representation, star some variable, it's a pointer variable. P is equal to ampersand a semicolon. P is equal to what there? Ampersand a. That means address location of a will be stored inside what variable? P variable. Address location of a will be stored in what variable? P variable. Okay. Now, in this case, what is going on actually? All of you observe carefully. When we compile this intersection, into a is equal to 50, first of all, a variable will be created. For this a variable, 2 bytes of memory will be allocated in already this point. In the C and C++, integers will take 2 bytes of memory. In the case of Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory. Language to language variation is available. In C and C++, integers will take how much memory? 2 bytes of memory. When 2 bytes of memory is created, its address location is also be created. 1010 is an address location for this A, where the data is what there? 50. 50 is the data here we provided. This is that internal content when we compile this particular statement into A is equal to 50 semicolon. Clear? When we compile this statement into star P, when we compile this statement into star P, there we are able to have like what there? P is a variable. Alright. For this fee, some memory will be allocated. How much memory is required to store address locations? That much of memory will be allocated for it. This is going to be happen. This is pointer variable. When we compile this statement, first am percentage A will be calculated. What is the am percentage A? Address of the A, 1010. That is assigned to what variable? P variable. That means that 1010 value will be stored in a P variable. That means indirectly what we are saying that P is referring the address of A. P is referring what there? The address of A. That means memory of what there? A. This is going to be happen indirectly. This is exactly the meaning of like what there? Pointer variable. Now tell me, this pointer variable is recognized and initialized by compiler at what time? No, compilation time. At what time? No, compilation time. No. Right, sir. It's okay, fine. Later on, I will give this diagram also to you. No need to worry for it. All of you observe carefully. I will give the diagram later on. Understand it, no? But here I'm getting one important interview question. Try to understand this question clearly. Why pointer variables are not required, are not possible in Java? Why pointer variables are not possible in Java? Why pointer variables? Why are pointer variables not possible in Java, not required in Java, not existed in Java? I'll give some reasons to you. Now try to understand it. Parallel to this answer, we are going to understand why they are existed in a C and a C++, why they are not existed in a Java. That we are going to understand clearly. Point number one, all of you observe carefully. Pointer variables are recognized and allocated by compiler at compilation time. At compilation time, memory must be allocated for pointer variables. Am I right or not? What type of memory allocation it is? No. What type of memory allocation it is? No. Static memory allocation. Now the point is, pointer variables requires static memory allocation. Static memory allocation. But Java is following what? Java is following what? Dynamic memory allocation. Pointer variables require static memory allocation, but Java is following what? Dynamic memory allocation. Extension of the same point I'm telling there. As per the static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocations, no, pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages. We know already the static programming languages. The programming languages which follow static memory allocation is what their static programming language. Pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Java is a dynamic programming language. Because of this reason, pointers are not suitable in the case of Java programming language. Point number three. Pointer variables are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages. Pointer variables are very much suitable in a platform dependent programming languages. But Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is what their platform independent programming language. Understand the point now? What is the meaning of platform dependent programming language? What is the meaning of this platform dependent programming language? What compiler, that means what operating system we have used for compilation, the same operating system we have to use for what their execution. if the pointer variable is getting some memory allocation at compilation time, in platform dependent programming languages, we are going to use the same operating system at runtime. So pointer variable is still refer the same location. Why? Because we are using the same system and same operating system. But if it is a platform independent programming language, compilation we are going to do in one system, execution we are going to do in what there another system. At compilation time, if any memory is assigned to a pointer variable, when it comes to the execution at other system, the same memory may not be available to the pointer variable. System to system, that memories are going to be changed. Locations of memories are going to be changed. Say for example, at compilation time, pointer is having 1010 location. When it comes to the execution in other system there, that 1010 location may not be available, or maybe 1010 location may have some system softwares internally. But if this pointer variable is referring still the same 1010, which has some system softwares there, unfortunately, the system softwares are going to be corrected if you do any operation with this pointer variable. Because of that reason, the point here, what I'm telling now, pointer variables are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages, but they're not at all suitable in the case of what they're platform independent programming languages. Why? Because pointers are getting memory allocations at compilation time. But if you use the same system for execution, then there is a meaning of the pointer variable to refer the same location. But if you use some other system there for execution, in that situation, this pointer variable is referring the 1010, which is allocated by compilation system. But when we go for the execution on another system, that 1010 location may not be available for pointer variable. In the case maybe that 1010 location may contains operating system softwares maybe, for example. So because of that reason, pointers are not at all suitable in the case of platform independent programming languages, but pointers are suitable in the case of what their platform dependent programming languages only. That's it. This is one point. Next one is, apart from that, pointer variables are able to provide lesser security, but Java is a very good secure programming language. But Java is what there? A very good secure programming language. Why? Because pointer variable is providing direct memory location. Pointer variable is providing what there? Direct memory location where data is available. If we catch the pointer variable value, address location of the data we are able to get. Then we can modify the data. We can do anything with our data. So no security is available for it. Pointer variable is providing what their address location of the data. If we catch the pointer variable value, directly we are able to get the address of the data. Once we are getting the address of the data, we can perform anything with that. Understand my point? But Java is what their very good secure programming language. It should not provide, it should not allow that secure. That means it must provide very good security for its data. So pointers are not allowed inside the Java programming language. Another point here, pointer variables are able to increase confusion to the developers, but Java is a simple programming language. Java is a simple programming language. It must not provide confusion to the developers. Understand it, Ken? The basic nature I'm telling there are two types of pointers actually. In C and C++ also we can understand two types of pointers. What are the two types of pointers, Ken? First one is single level pointer and the second one is multi-level pointer. Single level pointers are referring directly the data. A pointer is referring the address of the data directly. That is single level pointer. Multi-level pointers are available. One pointer is referring another pointer. Another pointer is referring some other pointer. Some other pointer is referring some other pointer. Like this, multiple levels. When it comes to the multi-level pointers, if that multi-levels are one level, two levels, three levels are okay, we have focus on it. We are able to control it. We can find which pointer is referring which pointer. We can trace it. But if it is more levels, more number of levels, control is not available over the references now. Which pointer is referring which pointer is referring which pointer, is a bit confusion for us now. Definitely, where developers or user control is not available over the tracing of the pointers now. Because of that reason, we can simply say that pointers is a confusion oriented feature, but Java is a simple programming language. Java must not allow this confusion-oriented features. Because of these reasons, pointers are not possible in the case of Java. Just basic reasons here I'm telling to you. Right, fundamental reasons. What are the various reasons here we understood there? Pointer variables require static memory allocation, but Java is following what their dynamic memory allocation. Pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Pointer variables are very much suitable in the platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Pointer variables are able to provide lesser security, but Java is a very good secure programming language. Pointer variables are able to increase confusion to the developers, but Java is a simple programming language. It must not provide confusion to the developers. These are all the points what we are understanding about like what their pointers, why pointers are not available in Java. But still we have a question now, actually. Understand this question here. All of you put more concentration. Simple question. Right, sir. For example, if I take a Java code, class a set of finish sections here we have written. Something else is available here. This is my class K. Okay, this is my class K. Remember it. In Java, we are going to prepare the programs with classes only, maximum classes. In Java, the basic programming element is what their class. Fine. When we are taking a class, we are going to create object for the respective class in order to access the members of the respective class. Inside the class, if we provide any variable or method to access that, we have to create an object for the respective class. So here we created an object for the respective class. Okay. Now the question is, when we create an object for the class A in Java, automatically an object will be created. Object is not any other one. Object is a block of memory. Again, I'm telling you, object is what there? A block of memory. This object is referred by a variable A. Object is referred by a variable A. This A variable is referring this block of memory. Here the question is what? In C and C++, a variable is referring a block of memory. So that variable is called what there? Pointer variable. In Java also, when we create an object for a particular class, there also a variable is referring a block of memory. So why don't we call this variable as a pointer variable? How can we say that pointers are not possible in the case of Java? In C and C++, a variable is referring a block of memory, so that variable is pointer variable. In Java also, when we create an object for class A, here also a variable is referring block of memory. So if a variable is referring block of memory, why don't we call this variable as a pointer variable? How can we say that pointer variables are not existed in Java programming language? Now I'm going to give answer for it. Observe carefully. In Java, this variable A is not a pointer variable. Its name is reference variable. Its name is what there? Reference variable. So now indirectly what I am asking now, what is the difference between pointer variable and reference variable? If you know how reference variables are created in Java, then easily we can compare what is pointer variable, what is reference variable, or really pointers are available in Java or not, that we are able to understand. So if you want to conclude this particular point, first we have to know what exactly the process we are following to create an object and to create reference variables inside the Java. So I'm going to give one diagrammatic representation. Understand this point clearly. Next 5 minutes. Topic is very, very important. Try to put more concentration on. All right, sir. Now I'm going to discuss about the point like how reference variables are creating in Java. Somewhat internal content. Try to put more concentration on. So for example, I'm going to take the class A. This is the class here we have taken. Now object here we are ready to create for class A. This is object creation. I'm asking this question to you now. Tell me, in Java, who is executing this code? Who is executing these instructions? In Java, who is executing these instructions? Come on, who is the executor of the Java programs? JVM. Java Virtual Machine is the executor of the Java programs. This is JVM. Nice. Okay. In Java, we are going to use mainly one type of memory. In Java, we are going to use mainly one type of memory to store or to create objects. The type of memory is what? Heap memory. The type of memory is what there? Heap memory. Okay, that memory is what there? Heap memory. All right. To control this total heap memory, one person is assigned here now. To control this total heap memory, one person is assigned. Who is this person actually? That person name is heap manager. Heap controller or heap manager, both are okay. Heap manager. Fine. Observe carefully what is going on now. When JVM executes this particular instruction, when JVM executes this particular instruction, especially new keyword, especially what keyword here? No, new keyword, especially new keyword. Okay. Immediately, object creation process will be started. When JVM executes new keyword, object creation process will start. Object creation process is embedded with, is available inside the new keyword. In entire Java, what keyword is having the functionality of creating object? New keyword. Not like any other one, only new keyword. Now, immediately, JVM will request to the heap manager about to create an object. I need to create an object for class K. Object is nothing but block of memory. Immediately, heap manager request to the heap manager. JVM will request to the heap manager. I need an object for class A purpose. No, immediately create an object. Immediately, heap manager will search for the required block of memory. Then immediately it will create an object for the JVM request. Object is created. One more point I'm telling there. High level information all I'm telling there. Not too much internals now. We have in object orientation, we have a separate topic about object creation process. There I will discuss complete internals now. But my requirement is what there? Our reference variable is going to be created. That is my requirement that I'm going to discuss with you clearly. So now here object is created. As per the JVM request, heap manager has created an object. Listen carefully. When an object is created at heap memory, JVM has to provide an unique identity for that object. Why? Because in heap memory, so many objects are going to be created as per the application requirement. When multiple objects are created as per the application requirement, for each and every object, some identity is required. In order to recognize it, in order to keep data inside that, in order to get data from that particular object, definitely some identity is required for each and every object. In the same way, for this present object also, heap manager has to provide one unique identity in the form of an integer value. That integer value is called hash code of the object. That integer value is called hash code of the object. Again, now come for this point. What is a hash code? Hash code is an unique identity for each and every object in the form of an integer value provided by heap manager. Heap manager will provide an unique identity for the object, for each and every object in the form of an integer value. That integer value is called as what there? Hash code of the object. Observe carefully. When a hash code value is created, no, immediately heap manager will take that hash code value. Heap manager will assign the task, will send the task code value to the JVM. Heap manager will send the task code value to the JVM. Now what JVM is able to do now, that hash code value is taken by the JVM, and JVM will convert the task code value to it's a hexadecimal form. JVM will convert the task code value to what their hexadecimal form. Hexadecimal form by using the function like what there 2 hex of hash code. Now say for example AB56 AB56 is an hexadecimal form of the hash code. For example, when this AB56 is created here is an hexadecimal form of the hash code, that AB56 or hexadecimal form of the hash code is called reference value. What is it? No, reference value. Hexadecimal form of the hash code is called as what there? Reference value. A reference value is created. When reference value is created, that reference value will be assigned to a variable. When reference value is created, the reference value will be assigned to a variable. The variable which has the reference value of an object, then that variable is called as what there? A reference variable. That variable is called as what there? A reference variable. All of you understand it? What is reference variable here? Reference variable is a variable which has the object reference value. What is that object reference value? It is a hexadecimal form of hash code. What is the hash code actually? Hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager for each and every object in the form of an integer value. Hash code is an integer value. Reference value is a hexadecimal form. Reference variable is able to store reference value of the object. In this total journey, in this total process, no identity is having address location. No identity is having what their address location. So we cannot set the pointer variable. We cannot say address locations, and we cannot say reference variable is a pointer variable. Understand the point clearly what I'm telling to you? In Java, a reference variable is able to refer a block of memory by storing object reference value. By storing what their object reference value. That's why that a variable is what their reference variable. In C and C++, a variable is referring a block of memory by storing address location. In C and C++, a variable is referring a block of memory by storing address location. So that variable is what there? A pointer variable. That variable is what there? A pointer variable. But in the case of Java, a variable is referring a block of memory by storing object reference value. So that variable is what there? A reference variable. Reference variable contains object reference value. Reference value of the object is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value. Understand my point or not? All of you are getting the difference between pointer variable and reference variable. Now try to understand this now. Throughout Java, we can remember these points now. Whenever I'm saying that reference variables topic now, whenever I'm saying that reference variables topic, there definitely we are going to understand. There definitely we are going to understand like what there. We are going to understand. See, reference variable which contains object reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Hash code is an integer value provided by heap manager as an unique identity. That's it. These points here we have to remember. Okay. Now let me take this diagram also here inside this one. After this. Now before this, I need to ask one question here. Important interview question again. What is that question now? What are the differences between pointer variable and reference variable? What are the differences between pointer variables and reference variables? Right, sir. Pointer variables and reference variables. Right. Answers are very simple. Now tell me, what is the first point here? Where, in which programming languages both are available? Pointer variables exist in C and C++, whereas reference variables exist in Java. Next one is point number 2. Pointer variables required static memory allocation, whereas reference variables required dynamic memory allocation. Next one is point number 3. Pointer variables are able to refer to a block of memory. Pointer variables are able to refer to a block of memory by storing address locations of the memory, whereas reference variables are able to refer to a block of memory. This block of memory is also be called as what their object. Reference variables are able to refer to a block of memory. That block of memory is what their object. By storing objects or reference value. By storing objects reference value, where the object reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code. Observe carefully. Reference variables are able to refer a block of memory, that is object, by storing object's reference value, where the object reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code, where the hash code is an unique identity, where the hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value, where hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value. That's it. Right, sir. Now this is the third point here. Already we are aware about it. Now point number 4. Pointer variables are supported by pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages, but reference variables are supported by the dynamic programming languages. Here itself I want to include one more point. Pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages and platform dependent programming languages. Reference variables are supported by the dynamic programming languages and platform independent programming languages. Independent programming languages. That's it. Try to observe carefully. Pointer variables exist in C and C++. Reference variables exist in Java. Pointer variables require static memory allocation. Reference variables require dynamic memory allocation. Pointer variables are able to refer to a block of memory by storing address locations of the memory. Reference variables are able to refer to a block of memory, that is object, by storing objects or reference values, where the object reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code, where the hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value. Pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages and platform dependent programming languages, but reference variables are supported by the dynamic programming languages and platform independent programming languages. The related diagram also we have given that we can understand clearly. Right, sir. It's okay. So this is totally pointers variables which are required in C and C++, which are not required in the case of what there Java. Can I move forward? Can I go for the next point here? No? Right, sir. How many differences here we understood up to now? 4 differences here we understood. All of you observe carefully. Then what is this fourth difference actually? Pointers. The related content here we provided it. So okay, fine. That's it. It is not like question and answer here. It is a point actually. Leave this one. Now coming to the fifth point, fifth difference, no? But more concentration. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Okay. So before going to understand multiple inheritance is possible or not possible in Java, first we have to understand what is multiple inheritance. Before that, what is inheritance? Before that, from where this inheritance is coming? Sequence of points here we have to understand. After that, we are going to understand why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That's it. All of you observe carefully. Everybody understand it now. Listen carefully. If any programming language, yes, if any programming language representing data in the form of objects by following the object oriented features, then that programming language is an object oriented programming language. Come for it. What is an object oriented programming language? If any programming language represents data in the form of objects by following the object oriented features, then that programming language is an object oriented programming language. Clear? There are 7 number of object oriented features. How many number of object oriented features? No, there are 7 numbers of object oriented features. First one is a class, the second one is object, next one is encapsulation, next one is abstraction, next one is inheritance, polymorphism. All right, next one is message passing. In general, message passing is not available. No, most of the people are neglecting that, but still it is one of the object oriented feature only. Rarely we can see this feature. Even we are also not thinking much about it, but as a list I'm giving them. Mainly the object oriented features are these: class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. Gotcha. In object oriented programming, maximum programming is going on with the classes. Class student, class employee, class account, class transaction, class product, like this. We are going to take like what their classes max. Answer my point here. But where I required inheritance now. Today my point is what there. Now the point is what there. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That's the point here. So I need to discuss about what there inheritance. All of you observe carefully. What exactly the meaning of inheritance? Now tell me once again, confirm to me. In Java or in object-oriented programming, programming is provided with the classes only. Inside the classes only, we are going to declare variables and methods. Classes we are going to use to represent any entity in outside. Class is the main programming element in object-oriented programming languages. Everybody understand the point now? Now, what is inheritance? It is a relation between classes. Just you can think of it, parent-child relationship. Parent-child relationship, it is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. Understand my point clearly? It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class. Where the class which is providing, where the class which is providing variables and methods is called a superclass. Where the class which is providing variables and methods is called what there? A superclass or a parent class or a base class. Different terminologies are available. But the official terminology in Java is what there? Superclass. The class which is providing variables and methods is called what there? A superclass. Where the class which is taking variables and methods is called a subclass. Or if you think parent class, no, then the terminology is what there? Child class. If you think base class there, now the terminology is what there? Derived class. If you think the terminology is superclass, here the terminology is what there? Subclass. Superclass, subclass, parent class, child class, base class, derived class. Understand it here? This is exactly the meaning of what there? Inheritance. Clear? There are two types of, or before that, what is the main advantage of the inheritance? No, the main advantage of the inheritance is code reusability. What is the main advantage of the inheritance? No, is what their code reusability. What is the main advantage of the inheritance? No, code reusability. All right, sir. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. Of course, there we are having 5 types overall, but initially only 2. Remaining types are not required. What are the 2 types of inheritances here? First one is single inheritance. First one is what there? Single inheritance. And the second one is what there? Multiple inheritance. On the basis of these two, 3 more inheritances are provided. Multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. 3 more are available but not required now. My context is what there? Only what there? Multiple inheritance. Why? Because I need to discuss about what point here. No, multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. There's a point here I need to discuss there. So where the point is what there? Single inheritance, and the second one is what there? Multiple inheritance. Let us understand what is this single inheritance actually. What is this single inheritance actually? All of you observe carefully. It is a relation between classes. Yes, sir. Observe carefully. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to. Condition is the number of superclasses. From only one superclass to one or more subclasses. From only one superclass to. From only one superclass, if you are getting variables and methods, then it is what there? Single inheritance. Java does support single inheritance. Java does support what there? Single inheritance. Let me show the diagrammatically. Already I copied this diagram here. It's okay. Understand it? All of you know. This is my superclass. And this is a subclass. Only one superclass. Of course, subclasses we can take any number, no problem. Inheritance is represented in the form of extends keyword in Java. Inheritance is represented in the form of what there? Extends keyword. The first one is, for example, class A. First one is what there? Class A. And the second one is what there? Class B. Okay. Class B extends A. In superclass, we are going to declare int A is equal to 10 void M1 method, where some implementation here we are going to provide. This is class A data. Once we declare this class A with the variables and methods, that we can access inside the class B, where A is equal to A plus 10 M1 method call also we can provide. Now check it. A variable is declared in superclass K, but that we reuse, that we accessed in class B. M1 method is declared in superclass, no, that we can access in what their class B. This is the meaning of like what their reusability. Declared in one class, but utilized in another class. Again and again, multiple subclasses we can take. In all multiple subclasses, we can reuse the members of the superclass. Right, sir. Arrow is representing inheritance. Arrow header part is representing superclass. Arrow tiler part is representing what their subclass. This is single inheritance. Leave this. Now coming to the point. What is multiple inheritance? What is multiple inheritance? Almost all. The definition is very simple. Observe carefully. It is a relation between classes. It will provide variables and methods from. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more subclasses. Again, here condition is the number of superclasses. In a single inheritance, from only one superclass, we are getting variables and methods. In the case of this multiple inheritance, from more than one superclass, we are getting variables and methods. From more than one superclass, we are getting what their variables and methods. Right. What about this Java and its support for multiple inheritance? Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. But here the question is, why it is not supporting multiple inheritance? I'll give clarity. Let's see the same thing in the diagram here. No? First of all, I want to represent multiple inheritance basic definition. After that, we will think why it is not supported here. Now, these are like what there, two superclasses here we have taken. This is one subclass. Okay. Now here, what is the point here I'm telling now? Class A, class B, and a class C. Here extends relation. Class C extends A comma B. Two superclass are available for single subclass. For example, int A is equal to 10, void M1 method with X implementation. This is in superclass K. With int B is equal to 20, void M2 method with the Y implementation. This is available in superclass B. C is a subclass for A and B. C can reuse all members of A and B. It's very clear. A is equal to A plus 10 semicolon. B is equal to B plus 10. Both we can use in a single subclass. The M1 method here we can call. M2 method also here we can call. This is the basic awareness on like what there multiple inheritance. We declared some variables and methods in both the superclasses that we can reuse inside like what there single subclass. Right. Now I'm telling there, as Java has prohibited that inheritance, total multiple inheritance, even though no confusion with this case, no, still this multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. Single inheritance is possible in Java. In this case, we are not having any problem, but still it is not allowed. Why? Because Java has removed totally multiple inheritance. But what exactly the problem of this multiple inheritance? What is the real problem of this multiple inheritance? Now I'll give some clarity. Observe carefully. Same multiple inheritance I'm going to represent once again. This is superclass A. This is superclass B. This is subclass. That's it. This is subclass. Now, all of you understand it clearly. Class A, class B, class C. Okay, now int A is equal to 10, void M1 method inside this X implementation, inside this X implementation in a superclass A. Observe carefully. Here only the change. Int A is equal to 20 M1 method, but here Y implementation. Same variable with different value, same way method with different implementations in both the superclasses. Understand it now. In class C, of course, here we are having extends keyword inheritance relationship. In class C, when I perform A is equal to A plus 10, when I access M1 method, A is equal to A plus 10, A value must come from superclass, but both the superclass are providing A variable value. From which superclass the A value is coming? From which superclass A variable value is coming is a confusion state. If we think A value is coming from class A, where A value is 10, A is equal to A plus 10, means that A is equal to 10 plus 10, 20. Is it 20? If you think A value is coming from class B superclass, where A value is 20, A is equal to A plus 10, A is equal to 20 plus 10, is it 30? What value it is? If you think M1 method call is coming from class A, where X implementation is available, is that X implementation? In class B, M1 method is available with Y implementation, is that Y implementation? What it is? From which superclass that A value and M1 method implementations are coming? It is a confusion state. It's a confusion state. All right. This multiple inheritance is providing this type of confusion. But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow. Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion-oriented features. Because of that reason, multiple inheritance is not allowed inside the Java. Multiple inheritance is not allowed inside what there in Java. Please remember this point clearly. Right, sir? It's okay. Now I want to take this diagram. Now try to observe carefully. Right, sir. Diagrammatic representation are given. At the same time that I'm giving there why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, I'm going to give that point here. In multiple inheritance, if we declare same variable with different values and the same method with the different implementations, and if you access that variable, 1 minute, same method with the different implementations in the super classes, in both the super classes, in both the super classes, and if you access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then from which superclass that variable and method are coming to the subclass is a confusion state. But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion oriented features. So Java doesn't allow multiple inheritance. Java does not allow multiple inheritance. Understand my point clearly? In multiple inheritance, if we declare same variable with different values and the same method with the different implementations in both the superclasses, and if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then from which superclass? Then from which superclass that variable and method are coming to the subclass is a confusion state. Here, multiple inheritance is able to increase, is providing confusion, is providing confusion. But Java is what there? But Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow confusion oriented features. So Java does not allow multiple inheritance. That's the reason why multiple inheritance is not possible in the case of Java. That's it. This is a simple point here what I've given there. So this is completed totally. Observe carefully. This is about like what there multiple inheritance. But how Java has restricted this multiple inheritance? How Java has avoided this multiple inheritance because of what programming construct that multiple inheritance is avoided here? If you think about this point here, answer is very clear. Java has restricted multiple inheritance. Java has restricted the multiple inheritance by defining extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass, not to allow more than one superclass, in the subclass syntax. Example here I'm telling to you, observe carefully. For example, class A extends B valid. This is valid. Class A extends B comma C. This is invalid. As in class A extends B comma C is what they're invalid. Class A extends B is what they're valid. Why? Because extends keyword is allowing only on superclass now. But here in this case, extends keyword is providing what they B comma C. This is multiple inheritance, but this is single inheritance. By defining this extends keyword like this only, Java has restricted this total multiple inheritance part of the Java. After the extends keyword, if you provide B, okay. If you put comma, no. From that point onwards, we are able to get compilation error. From this point onwards, we are able to get what there compilation error. Okay, right, sir. Now this is the total content here I'm telling to you. Just it is a request now. Then today attend just 1 hour class at 8:30, so that tomorrow onwards continuously we can come at what time here? 8:30 only. No need to come for the class here. No need to come at 7 o'clock now. Tomorrow onwards we are going to continue our content with the 8:30. Just what I'm telling there. Take 5 to 10 minutes break and again come back now. Just as a matter of 1 hour that I'm going to continue the same topic. The differences between Java and others, we are going to take more steps, more points we are going to understand that just as a matter of 1 hour, so that we are able to complete it now, right? Take some break and come back now. I'll start the content. Guys, and those who are attending in online, just observe carefully. Those who are attending in online, yes, we can leave now. Just 10 minutes break, you can come back. Fine. And I will share that link to you guys in the questions box. All of you know, take this link. Everybody, take this link now. Yeah, I will share that link. Just wait a minute of time. I'll share that link to all of you guys. You know, write that link. I don't know. Guys, now on the questions box, I'm sharing that link to you. Now check all of you know. All of you take this. I shared that link to all of you guys in question box. Just select it and get a copy it. Then if you are getting copy, just give intimation to me so that I will start that class. Okay, guys. Then all of you have taken that link. Just select it. In the bottom, there we can copy that. You can copy and use that link. Then within 5 minutes, I'll start the class. Guys, then if you give information to me, just if you copied that, then I will start that session. Maybe our admin people within 2 minutes of time, our admin people will share that link to you also now. Guys, all of you copied it. Guys, copied it. I shared that link to everybody. Or else Hemant will share that link to you through your mail. Now try to check with that.